Um, do you feel hot in that suit or not?
Very.
Hi, Flynn's family. Welcome one more time. We are here at Flynn's studio at Margate, Florida. Today we have a very special guest. We are going to talk about, well, as you can see, a very beloved character, but many through generations. And he's a person who is not just passionate about it, he also have a beautiful message to share with us. So today we are welcome DanDan.
Hi, how are you guys doing?
Well, it's a pleasure to have you here, and thank you for being part of Flynn's community for so long. One more thing, people, remember all our content creators, this is for you. You can now book this space at Flynn's studio so you can create your own content. Tell me, DanDan, how have you been? How has been all these years in doing this beloved character?
Well, my day's been fine so far, and since I already explained myself earlier when it comes to my introductories, as usual with the Stuff for the Gamers podcast I did back in May, what made me attracted to Sonic in the first place, or at least what made me, I guess, captivated of the series in general, it would have to be when I had a Sega Genesis plug-and-play cartridge when I was, at least a console when I was 6. It was a Christmas gift for me, so what was on those games, it was something, the games were in question were Kid Chameleon, Golden Axe, Flicky, and then there were Sonic. And between all of those games, Sonic is the one that gravitated to me the most, and here I am now.
Yeah, it's been a long journey because most people, connect with something. So in what special way Sonic connect with you?
I say in regards to, just the characters, the games, and just, I guess, the overall, vibe of the series that I just grown to like over the years. But that's mainly, I guess, the short and sweet of it.
Yeah, and one thing that is very important to us as community is also that we learn to appreciate what makes it special at every single person who is part of this. So when you go to these conventions, how you feel with the people, like when you meet these people, and do you find a community for you?
I do, actually, because there are a lot of people who also cosplay as the characters, or not like in a onesie per se, like outfits that are inspired. Because what I do is I wear this onesie when I go to cons and or my suits, but that's like a rarity because con heat and we live in Florida and it's very, very hot here.
Yeah. I remember the last interview we had through social media at Flynn's was very hot day, and you were not you said, "Oh, I'm too hot to wear this costume."
Exactly. This heat is no joke.
And how many pieces of clothes or accessories do you have of Sonic?
I'd say about 20 shirts so far and counting. I want to say that, yes. Yeah, I have one pair of Sonic shorts, I know that's for sure. A few pairs of Sonic socks, and the ones I'm wearing right now, and as I aforementioned, my suit.
My favorite is your necklace.
Thank you. I got this from a company called King Ice, is where I got it from, and I have another one with Just a Set back home.
And do you have any special piece of, not just jewelry, but piece, of all the things that you have that is the most important to you?
I want to say, my chains, that's one, and the two, what I'm wearing right now, are my limited edition Sonic movie shoes that came out when movie 2 dropped. So yeah, those are also my favorite, I guess, piece of clothing I always wear.
How do you find out about these launches? I always say that the Americans are very privileged because here you have most of the launches of many franchises around the world, or the exclusive news or everything. I always try to share these with people who are around the world, if I know they are in love with something. But how do you find out? What social media do you follow, communities of Sonic specifically?
I say I follow a lot of, I guess, outfits or accounts that post outfits like that on Instagram and on Twitter, because I'm always chronically online on both. So that's how I get where my news of just what's coming out, what type of clothing apparel I can grab, and stuff like that. So because by the end of the month, I want to get the Puma Sonic shoes that are coming out, and I just want to get the Shadow ones because I thought they look cool.
And one thing, also the story of Sonic comes from, well, many years ago. It's made by Americans, but also it has an interesting fact with, well, the Japan industry, and then eventually became also the Japanese industry of video games. So how do you feel people see Sonic from different sides of the world? You know, because also it's a character that has been for 3 generations since 1991 or even more right now. I don't remember, I'm so old. And people still like this character. So what do you think why it's so loved around the world?
I say it's due to the success of more recent times, I guess. There were Sonic Frontiers that came out, the movies that came out, and I guess overall just way more games that are coming out that has been receiving a lot of positive acclaim, so that's why it's getting a lot more popular as it was back then.
And also there is a new game recently launched, right?
Yes, Sonic Racing Crossroads. It just recently dropped the September 25th. I was a little late to the party on that one because I had other stuff to do and other means to spend my time on, but I got it literally just today, and I did play a little bit due to the open network test that happened way back in the beginning of September, and that's how I got to play it. And more recently, I was here for this tournament for the game, and I placed second.
By the way, there is a Coral Springs tournament next week with Flynn at the Comic Con that is coming next week. You can see it and follow this account right here of this event, and it's going to be at Saturday at 3 p.m. You are all invited if you really want to play more about and see this new game, right?
Exactly, and I would love to participate in the festivities, but I do not have the means to do so at the moment, so this one's just gonna have to pass. But to those who are going, have fun. It's really fun. It's a good game. I really do. We'll be logging so many hours into it, and I guess for the next one, I'll definitely be there for.
Tell me about also your experience with Sonic characters. Which ones are the Sonic characters that you love the most, and which ones you are not so, well, let's say that are your less favorite?
So top 3 favorite characters of mine. I want to say it would have to be Metal Sonic because he's my favorite of, I guess, the robotic characters of the guy. I want to say Shadow is also a favorite of mine as well as everyone else's favorite, as you know, he had his own year last year. And Sage, she is from Sonic Frontiers. I just like her character because it was like a lot for, you know, because I really did enjoy how she was in the game and the DLC for it. It was really like, that's how she became my favorite.
Which one would you like that is not Sonic to characterize, to wear as a costume, cosplay? I know you're more like me, that we are more like, okay, we're buy the costume, we don't make it. But which one would you like to do?
I guess in terms of Sonic wise, I guess because a friend of mine's been bellyaching me about it, I guess I could try and find an outfit that is inspired by, can I really say Supersonic for one or no? Or I guess Shadow, if anything.
Yeah, Shadow, it's very interesting. And also, let's talk about the messages that, well, you know, for you that you have learned through your life about Sonic. How is that message impact to you?
I guess for me, because the messages for the series is usually about being free as a win or just living life to the fullest, and those type of, I guess, ideologies or ideals have sort of just been in the back of my mind for a while, and I feel as though that it's how I've been able to express myself like this, and just in regards to just staying true to who I am.
And that's something that I like a lot about what you just said, is living life to the fullest. Like nowadays, I feel that many young people, especially, that they just, you know, are all the time thinking what other people think, because social media, we receive a lot of information, and we don't need that, you know. We just need to be focused on what we like, the people who surrounded us, our community. How can we improve ourselves, as become better, just in general, you know, every single day, and not be or try to be surrounded when we receive all that heinous, Through all this time, how have you feel with the people, like when they ask you for example, pictures or stuff?
Yes, it's always pretty nice to see people who like to just take pictures of me, because I think the most amount of pictures I gotten was when I went to Otaku Fest in my Sonic suit, because people just thought I looked nice in it looked cool on me, and people just wanted to take a picture and stuff like that, because no one has really, I guess, or at least have seen me worn a suit like that. I just thought that, did you get this tailor made? Was it custom made? No, I just bought it off a site called Office Suits.
I was going to say, how much you spent on that suit? It looks very peculiar. It's very original.
It was $120.
Good price for a suit.
Yeah, it's not too bad. I mean, it's not as expensive as most suits go for nowadays.
Yeah, and also you make a photo session with that suit, right?
I do occasionally do photographs. I mean, do photo shoots and stuff like that. I have one coming soon with someone I know who also has done photo shoots here in this arcade. We just need to find a time and, what day I have work, and between that and the weather being an annoyance, so that's why. But
for me and for many people at the community, it's interesting that you really take your passion to a certain level. Well, you share it with the community. Which are your nicest experience when you are going to these conventions?
I say because due to, I guess, the snowball effect of me going... Well, I say the podcast I did with the South Florida Gamers podcast back in May, it would have to be in regards to, I guess, after that going forward, when I went to, I guess, Baoshi, it was like, oh, aren't you that dude from the podcast? And even more recently with SuperCon and Otaku Fest, it was like, hey, aren't you that guy that did that podcast? Aren't you that Sonic guy that been to this event and that con and this place here?
That's very interesting that people recognizes you, and I'm a very shy person, so I know what people might think, because, well, I'm not shy in general, but when it comes to people who says, oh, you're doing this podcast, I recognize you, that happened to me like a month ago, I turn to be shy in that specific moment.
No, I get you. It's a lot of ones.
Yeah, and it happens also that when you are very involved in something, people also think you are a specialist. So for you, how you handle all the new information that comes around the world for also this character, like for example, do you have a special websites or again social media that you prefer to follow for the Sonic world?
Any content creators I know of?
Yeah.
Honestly, I would love to specify, but not really much at the top of my head. I guess for the sake of there's one person I do know who is around the scenes myself. She is also doing a podcast with the South Florida Game Podcast tomorrow. She goes by Sonic Princess 15. She's a lovely gal. I got to be good friends with her for a while now, and I recently have saw her as we both participated in said Crossroads tournament last weekend. So yeah, I say she's one that I know of who is very, like, I guess, locally around here.
And also, where can you meet people who have passion for Sonic in conventions and stuff? Is there any convention coming?
There is, but not here. But next year, I would love to do. I like to go to the Sonic Expo in Atlanta, Georgia, which is like when I think it's August or September. I'm not really sure, but
next year.
Yeah, next year. But other than that, I would love to participate in it because yes, I've been to Otaku Fest and the Super Cons and your whole mats around here in Florida, but going to somewhere that's out of state is way more fun than going to any con in state.
And it's all about Sonic, right?
Yes.
So that's interesting because I think it's like a Marvel universe where you're going to find different Spider-Mans all in one place, and it's going to be like the same here. Mm-hmm. You know? So for the people who likes video games, which ones of these years that you have been following the Sonic franchise, which ones would you recommend?
I say for me, I would recommend in terms of the 2D games, I would have to say Sonic 3 Knuckles. That's one is a fan favorite of mine that I consider to be one of my favorites. It has more levels, more characters, and it's honestly one of my favorites. And I guess Sonic Mania is one too, but yeah, I guess in terms of the 2D side of things, but 3D, it would have to be Sonic Generations with and I guess well now it's no longer called that. It's called Sonic X Shadow Generations due to the remaster they had dropped last year that I really enjoyed playing because it has more content with the Shadow stuff, and it was also to promote the year of Shadow. So that in and of itself made me want to get the game more because I already like Sonic Generations originally. It's one of my favorites, and I guess also another 3D Sonic game I can recommend. It would have to be Unleash. It's also one of my favorites.
And one more thing about, well, for example, the people who is old generation like me, is there anyone specific where to start?
Honestly though, just what I just said. I mean, Sonic 3 is a good game, Sonic Mania is a good game, Sonic Generations is a good game.
I'm more like when, I'm more the generation that likes the pixels, like watching pixels play.
Yeah.
I seriously, I know all kids right now are like in immersive experience and PS5 and those beautiful graphics, and I don't have anything against that, but I prefer old school stuff.
Exactly.
So, and how is the situation also with your family? Like, how they react that you have all this love for Sonic?
I guess in more cases my family is like that. For me, I say my cousins are, and I guess I try to force my mom to watch the movies with me, but usually she's always doesn't budge, but I always get her to come around eventually.
Aww.
So, I mean, she's not a gamer like that, like myself, but I would say like honestly, my late father was, to be honest with you. He was more of a gamer than my mom, because I remember he got me a lot of games when I was a kid, because I remember one memory from him that I'll always remember, and this is not a Sonic game, but I had a PS1. One of the games I had on it were a racing game and a Pac-Man World.
Oh, Pac-Man! I love Pac-Man.
Because I recently got the Pac-Man World 2 repack, the remake that came out a week ago, around the same time as Sonic Racing Crossroads came out.
Okay.
So that was the game to hold me over until I had that game. So I really have, well, at least I'm having fun with it right now. So yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's beautiful to share that also with part of your family. Do you ever convince them also to wear costumes and stuff?
Not really, because they're not really as big as cosplay like that, or at least I don't think anyone in my family is not that interested in cosplay.
And are you planning to do something special this Halloween?
Since I can't really say much about Halloween because it's a very touchy subject, and I'd rather not speak on it as such. But in short, I'm just gonna be wearing my suit for at my job. So that's kind of it.
Oh, nice. They allow you to do that here?
In my job, they let me because it's the fall of the holiday. So why not, get festive with it?
Oh yeah, of course. I like that actually, that people nowadays can dress up or do something different a special day, because it's just part of the celebration. It's not good to be a stressful day.
Exactly.
So tell me about also besides the convention you want to go, anything that has caught your attention recently. For example, I love the idea that now Sega has a new store. And more than Sega, I will see, because I have seen videos, that it's a Sonic store. Because seriously, Sonic is the main, the icon of Sega, and they have this beautiful store in Tokyo, and also now Sonic is part of the Olympics, so it's coming around.
Exactly, because I cannot wait for whatever that entails. Because there have been games with Sonic in the Olympics, but with Mario. But again, that series is dead, so that's the reason why I guess they're making it a Sonic thing in the Olympics.
Yeah, and I think that it's also a multi-year contract that they are doing, a multi-year collaboration. So it's not just, and that's a little risky, but at the same time tells you something that the message of Sonic is passing from generation to generation. Why do you think is that? Why do you think the people like keeps going with Sonic after like many years? Because it's been around since 1991.
I guess it's been going on for as about as I guess where I can remember, for the sake of just I guess now as of late every other game is collabing with Sonic just so long now, and more recently there have been way more stuff, apparel, and I think more recently they're doing a thing to where they're doing a lot of collabs with DC and just with the comics and action figures and stuff like that and the toys.
I feel like also Sonic is one of those characters that has maintained original as the way it is the character. Like, I know at the end of the day many things are sales and marketing, and you have to go where the society goes to keep selling. Otherwise, we can't be enjoying all these video games. But I feel it's one of those characters that through more than 3 generations has keep it real as the original version, as the foundation of Sonic as a message that it was from the beginning,
Mm-hmm.
And do you like that? Do you feel that it's something positive for the community?
I feel as though it is, because again, the success of everything that's been going on so far in the series, I feel as though it's reaching way more heights than it did back then.
For those people who also think that there's sometimes in this community there is people who is feeling lonely or who doesn't have like the best skills to socialize. What would you say about to find the right community in this won't say industry, but in this video game world, gamers world, arcade world?
I say, I guess, for people to find community, I would say, just be yourself, because there come a point where, life's too short, and in the world where people are so judgmental in this area and just what we like to do in general and always get shied away or be belittled by others, I just say just do a lot more things that cater to you, and you'll find your people, because I've done so myself in more ways than one, because I was never like this back then, because I always am introverted and to myself most of the time. But whenever I'm at cons, or even more recently with my own friends that I've made throughout these cons in the past months of this year so far, I managed to find a lot of solace of people and a lot more in my community, and seeing and just being with a group of friends like that is very endearing to know that even outside of that we still just hang out and vibe and stuff like that. So it's really, honestly very great.
Have you ever had a bad experience with people in any convention that was not the nicest to you?
So far, I haven't, but and I pray it doesn't. But I'd say though I really didn't have any I guess rude or any ill intent interactions like that. But I usually don't pay any mind, or I just go with the flow with it, or I just either I'm by myself at an event or with friends. I just hang out with them. I just go about my day.
That's important to just keep it like don't care. I always say haters gonna hate, because actually it is real. Like people who has something negative to say, and especially people who doesn't know you at all, it doesn't worth to pay attention. Just keep it in your business.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me one thing about also how you get more involved nowadays with other members of the community of Sonic. How you keep in touch, or how as you said, you also participate in podcasts or with people who makes photo shoots. And how you connect with them?
I wasn't connected to them because of just the way that I am, and just a way more, I guess, overly hyper person that I always remain to be. Never really, there have been my moments, but I'm always remaining positively upbeat. And that's how I met with other people and stuff like that, and they just gravitate towards my energy.
That's very very interesting to the people who again right now I feel, and this is a way to help you guys, that I feel like today making connections, socialize is every time more difficult in an organic way, you know. Even before we started, we were talking a little about that these cosplay communities, these arcade communities are kind of helping, you know, to find the path that you wanna find without making any judgments, you know. And also, it's very lovely to see that happens a lot. Like, hey, if you wanna, you know, one day, even if you're 30 or 40, wear, you know, a Sonic suit, it's okay. It's okay. You know, I know there's places for everything. You can't wear it every day. I have to say, I have an anecdote when I don't say I criticize a person of 40 because I'm going to be 40 in a few years, but this person criticized me first. That's why if you're going to say something to me, I will say something back to you. And I was actually looking for a job, and this guy, just because I wear like what we call in my country proper clothes, you know, a blazer or something to go to a job interview, like any normal person. He said, "Oh, I don't think you're creative enough just because you're wearing like a blazer."
And that's not, you know, that scares off a lot of people when you say stuff like that.
And I told her I prefer to be in my 20s and be polite introduced to an interview that being 40 and still work like kids' clothes.
Exactly, I get it.
Because well, at this point he was wearing, you know, for a job interview like a shirt of, I don't remember the character, like, you know, a belt for something else, and I would like to say that he looked clean, but not even that. So he was like, you know, I was not being rude to you, but come on, man, if you're going to say something, I will say something back.
Exactly.
And well, I would like to say that that's what I find in this community, you know, at Flynn, is that you find all these different people from all these different franchises and stories, and they connect here. So for you, what's also a message for those people who are trying to find this path?
I say, what is it? I want to say just be yourself. Stay true to your ideals and your morals, because you may never know that will actually attract you to so many people you may meet in your life and what have you, because it did for me. So that's all I can really say for anyone who's watching.
Yeah, and also something that is important for us to tell you is that you can go to these conventions, you can go to all these events, meet new people, but always keep it real. If something, and I feel it's something also be very honest and true to yourself. You can have different opinions, you can have, we are not going to agree 100% with each other, you know, but it's good to share and it's good to talk, not to yell, to talk and start talking more. And instead of doing this, you know, being with your phone all the time and not actually talking to each other. Mm-hmm. So, Dan, Dan, tell me, what are your next projects also in the future with Sonic that you would like to do?
Well, I do have another photo shoot I want to do soon. I don't know when that will be. Hopefully November or probably even later in this month, but that seems very unlikely. So most likely November. Another thing I have to do, which doesn't involve Sonic, surprisingly enough. I have an outfit coming, and it's a cosplay, a new one, but it's not something Sonic related. It is Yusuke Urameshi from Yu Yu Hakusho.
Thank you so much for being here. It's been such a pleasure. Just one more thing, guys. Remember, next week is the Sonic tournament of
Maricon.
Yes, and you're better than me in saying this. And the game is
Sonic Race Crossroads.
Yeah, great. You said it. And he's going to be by planes at 3 p.m. So you're all invited. And thank you one more time. Just tell us, please, your social media and where we can find you.
Yes, my IG is Pronoman2, PROTOMAN2. I'm also trying to be consistent on TikTok, and I think my moniker on there is the same as my Insta. So there is where you can find me.
Well, thank you so much for being here. One last word for the public, if you want to share.
Just be you.
Very simple and very honest, coming from the heart. Well, thank you so much, guys. Have a great day, and remember, we are here at Flynn's Studio, Margate, Florida. This is for all you content creators. If you want to book it now, book your space, and make it yours. Have a great day.
See ya, ciao.